Howdy y'all, and welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. I am still in need of glue. It is just getting to be dawn here. But I went ahead and, well, I started my armor last episode, but my mining helmet's finished. It's not a very good one, but it's a mining helmet. I made some leather gloves. I made some leather leg armor. I'm not sure, though. How do I... Let's see. 16, 17, 7, 5, 16, 11, 16. You know what? This is actually better a little bit in spots. So let's go with that. I got my new iron chest piece, the only piece. I made myself some leather boots to go with it. Did I just get iron from that? Leg pieces? Weird. I was not expecting that. Oh no, it's still going. I don't know what that came from. Alright. Well, I unfortunately do not have a beaker, which makes it... which makes it impossible to make glue. So I either need glue or a beaker. And I think last episode I was starting to head, oh, awesome. Available to use my hands and have a light. Things are looking up for me. Although, wait. I thought this broke. Did I get enough glue to make a new thing? Shoot, I was thinking I still needed glue. I mean, I'm out of glue, obviously. What does that do for me? I need to get this up to 40. I can do concrete mixing now. I'm very tempted just to go ahead and push this up to... Oh, hey, I can do 9mm shells now, too. Very tempted just to go ahead and push this up as high as I can. Maybe I'll just wait. I'm going to go back and grab some arrow supplies then. I don't remember making a new crossbow, but, I mean, who knows, right? That's the way things go. Do not have... Are they all on me? Oh, they're just all on me. Never mind. I need you to turn back on. That's probably enough for now, right? Recipes. Turn off for now. Okay, so now I'm a little better kitted, but let's head over to that apartment building. We did start. I remember because I went in the car garage. So, yeah, so, not a whole lot of, ooh, you know what, I didn't finish it, but I started rewatching the new thing, which is the prequel thing, last night. I've seen it before, but, I was looking for my copy of the original thing, and of course I don't put anything away ever, because I'm that kind of guy. And so I've just got loose discs laying around, right? And it just says The Thing on it. And the other one just says The Thing. You know what? This is not where I wanted to go. I already searched this place. I wanted to go in here. And, so I put it in because I thought it was the right one, and I started it up, and I'm like, oh, this is the new one. I wanted to watch the old one. I'm like, well, I guess I can go ahead and watch the new one. It kinda sorta leads into the original, sorta, if you believe that the new one is part of the old one. I don't really like the new one as much as the old one. I don't know, the acting just isn't as good, I feel. And their main character, she just kind of goes around looking like she's in a daze the entire movie. It feels like to me. And for being a group of scientists, whereas I mean the other one, I guess I'm not really sure what the jobs were for the other guys, but it's supposed to be a group of scientists. They seem kind of dumb, and then their special effects aren't great for their monster, which made me sad. They just I don't know. I feel like the other one was the older one. The monsters were more. I'm sure the new show, the people had to have looked at character concepts from the old one, right? But does everything just need a giant mouth in the middle of it? I mean, I guess that was a thing on the old one, but I don't know. There is some good spots in it, though. Oh yeah, I forgot about my wrench that I gave up. Nice, that's handy. I did like there's a part in there where the monster is absorbing people by touching them, and I thought that was pretty well done. I like that, and but I don't know. I almost feel like the acting from the dudes who don't speak English is better than the people who speak English, which is weird for an American movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would hope that my English-speaking actors would be better actors, but yeah, the guys who just speak Norwegian or barely speak English just seem to fit their parts better. But yeah. Anyways, that was it's pretty fun. I still prefer the old one, but yeah. I my weekend got really busy, and so I mean I didn't really have any plans to necessarily watch anything per se, but I today is sort of a holiday. I mean, like, people have the day off. It's, Memorial Day. Well, you might not know it's Memorial Day. I guess it depends on where you're at, but it's American holiday where they celebrate, not celebrate, but remember soldiers, I guess. I honestly don't know the purpose of Memorial Day. I'm sure I've looked it up before, but that doesn't mean I remember what I read. It's like Labor Day. It's one of those holidays that I'm like, there's nothing that I personally do on them, so they don't really mean a whole lot to me. I guess that's true of a lot of holidays. There's not a lot of holidays I really do anything for. It's like Halloween. Halloween's not really a holiday to me. I mean, we don't even get the day off for that one. I'm sure there's candy, but as I've stated before, I'm an adult, and at this point, if I want candy, I will drive to the store and buy myself some candy. But I don't eat a lot of candy, so, yeah. Anyways. But my sister has the day off today, and so last weekend, she's like, oh, we're going to be playing D&D all weekend. And I'm like, okay. And then I think Monday, was it Monday, I asked her when I saw her, I'm like, are you serious about playing D&D more than one afternoon this weekend? And she's like, yeah, we're going to play on Sunday and we're going to play on Monday. I'm like, okay, well then that means I need to prep 2 days worth of D&D. And she's like, yeah, we're going to play. And so well, that's pretty good for pistol parts there. I'm gonna have to take those. And so then we get to I want to say Friday, and I hit dinner time, and Friday dinner time, like 5:30 p.m. My brother-in-law is like, "Oh, we're not gonna be able to play on Sunday, 'cause we're gonna be gone. So we're gonna play Saturday afternoon instead." I'm like, "So same amount of time all day afternoon Saturday then?" Yeah. I'm like, "Well, great, 'cause now I've got to spend what little free time I've got on Friday night now." And so I had planned on doing some other stuff Friday and Saturday, and then work on stuff on Saturday night when I had more time. And but now they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna play Saturday," and then my sister's like, "Oh, and we're gonna play Sunday night as well, because I am going away, but everybody's got to be home early, so we'll be home at like 6, 7 o'clock, and we'll be able to play." I'm like, "Oh, great. So now I've got a plan for 3 days of D&D. I hope you can predict where this is going." And so we get to Saturday, and nobody's home but me, and they've all gone someplace. And then I hear a bunch of noise, and so I go upstairs to see what's going on. And there are kids here, and not the ones that belong here. And so apparently they agreed to babysit for some of their friends, or on Saturday. And I'm like, "Okay, well, whatever. Hey, you know what? I want to hit the thing in front of me and not tear the floor up. Thanks." So that means we didn't play all day Saturday like they told me to prep for. And then their friends come to pick up their kids, and then they're like, "Oh, well, your baby, who's like 2, is just laying down to take a nap." So they're like, "Oh, well, if he's about to nap, then could we just leave him here and go to the greenhouse for a while?" And they're like, "Sure." I mean, my sister wasn't home yet, so it was just my brother-in-law at that point. And I'm like, "We're supposed to be playing D&D. You made me prep for D&D. It took me hours of my time to prep for D&D. And instead you're babysitting somebody's kids." And so the kids finally leave, and then it's our dinner time. So now, instead of playing in the afternoon, it is now like 7 o'clock at night. And I think it was it Friday? No, it was Saturday, and so I get all my stuff done, just cramming it all in as fast as I can get it done, so that I can be ready for Saturday afternoon D&D like they told me to be prepared for. Nobody tells me any plans, nobody changes any plans, so they just go and do their stuff and change their plans without informing me. And so here I am, getting all this stuff done, running through all this stuff as fast as possible. And so then it gets to be like 2 in the afternoon on Saturday, and I'm like, "Okay, so now I'm ready to go," which is when we're supposed to start, when they said they wanted to start, and now I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs because they made other plans and didn't tell me. Plans that they made earlier in the day, and they could have let me know so that I didn't rush through things. Well, not that rushing through things made a difference, but I wouldn't have crammed everything so close together, and I would have had time to enjoy my afternoon better. So now I'm sitting around with nothing to do, basically, and so I'm like, well, this will give me time to prep for Monday, and so I worked on that for a couple hours, and then I see my sister before dinner, and she's like, "So we still plan on playing D&D today?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was the plan you guys made. That's what I thought we were doing today." That's why I changed all my plans for my entire weekend. And she's like, well, I just want to make sure that's what we're still doing. Well, I'm sorry, you made a plan with me. I follow through with my plans. How hard? Why is this a hard concept for people? You make plans, you follow through with your plans. If you can't make your plans, you let people know I can't make it. Otherwise, the plans are on. So then she's like, well, I think we're probably going to be able to play Sunday night too. So, no, we should be able to play Sunday night. Should. Not, there's a slim chance. We will probably play Sunday night as well, most likely, if we get home at a reasonable time. So what happens? One of them goes fishing, and I don't know what time the other one got home. They don't call me, they don't text me, they don't send a message, they just don't show up, period. So now I have prepped for 3 days of D&D at this point, 2 of which are supposed to be long. And, what is that? That's like a power box, or a breaker box. Nope. We played for 2 hours Sunday, or Saturday evening. And it was supposed to be like our normal 4 to 6 hour session. Per their plans, not mine, their plans. Because if they said, oh, we can't play this weekend, well, fine, we can't play this weekend. It's not that big a deal. Or we can only play on Monday, which is what they told me originally. I was fine with that. I'm like, all right, we can play on Monday. That's fine. I was going to work, but I'll skip work and do it on another day because I can schedule my work for kind of whatever day I want to do it on, sort of. And but I can skip a day, I guess. Ooh, look at this! Look at this view. It's not a very good view because the windows are not very see-through. And yeah, so then ooh, that is a stairway down. So then Sunday, they just don't show up. They don't tell me nothing. And so I get all my stuff together and done and out of the way. And then it gets to be about 5 o'clock, which she said she'd be home to play between 5 to 7. And so I wanted to make sure I had everything ready, and I tweak a few things after I get my stuff done for the day, and then nothing. And so I mean, it's not like you can get into the middle of something. I don't want to quit something that's long term. And like a movie, although I did quit the movie anyways because I got tired. I got too sleepy to finish my movie. And but no, not even a word, which is very irritating. So now the plan was to play all afternoon today, and it's almost 4 p.m. and I haven't heard one word from them yet. So I planned for 2 normal sessions and 1 short session, which takes time. Not that it can't just be pushed off onto other days, so it's not like it's not going to get used, but come on, my time is important to me. Just because it apparently is not important to any of y'all, it is important to me. And you are wasting my time. Because unlike you, I follow through when I make plans. But yeah, so we did play for a little bit Saturday night. And so I think I was trying to think how I ended the previous session. So, like I said before, it's kind of based off The Thing, mostly The Thing, a little bit Aliens, mostly The Thing. And, probably more so The Thing than Aliens at this point. Well, it's only Aliens because they're chest bursters. But yeah, so you know they got in the place and oh yeah, they ran past the guy who didn't have any actual damage to him. Just had blood on his cheek and blood on his cheek and a torn sleeve, and he turned into a monster uh, and attacked, and so they managed to kill that, and then we started back up right after that, and so they all pulled back into the inn, and when they came in the inn, oh, I remember. When they came in the inn, they're all like, "Oh, we're gonna get something to drink," you know, because you're supposed to pretend to be your character, and so they run in and get an ale or water, and so I'd already planned out that if they drank anything, they're getting paralyzed or put to sleep. And so as soon as they drank their stuff, they talked to little conversations, and then everybody who drank something crashes down asleep or paralyzed because some of the characters can't be put to sleep with their abilities. And so after they get put to sleep, the cook comes out and she shapeshifts into her actual form. And then two more of her kind, red ones, instead of she's a large death slod. And so two red slod come through, and they start grabbing bodies and dragging them out the door. And I had them drag out a bunch of the NPC guard types and left the named people and a couple of the guards. And so after they drag out a few bodies, then the remaining people in the fort who are still awake, which I think consisted of like 5 people, ran down and or came in because they were out collecting the rest of the guards. Came running in saying that all the guards were dead, but 2 out of 12, and saw everybody unconscious on the floor and that people were missing, and immediately boarded the doors closed. But they didn't board the kitchen door closed. And so after they after about 10 hours they came to, and the stairway up had been sealed off, and the outside doors had been boarded over, and they could hear claws of something clawing the outside of the building. Not to get in, just to let them know they were still there. And the creatures are telepathic, so they can, every once in a while, they hear the main one laugh in their minds. And so because they didn't seal the fireplaces, one of the red ones came down the fireplace and attacked them. And so they fought that one off and then sealed that door, which sealed them off from most of the fireplaces. So now they're in a small room with one small fireplace. And they're out of firewood, so it's getting cold inside the building because they're in snow, and so they're left with the choice to stay inside. I think they waited out the night, and then as soon as it got daytime after fighting that red one, they braved the elements to go outside, and so when something happened to the roof of this place. They Oh, what's going up here? I didn't know this stuff was up here. What kind of boxes are up here? Gun store crate. Oh, well, there's nothing in it. And working stiff crate. Also nothing in it. This dude appears to have used up all his stuff. If I knock this down, will this fall on a pile of easily harvested steel? Or not steel, but iron. But, yeah, so then they went outside. There's some storage bins. There's some storage bins just out. It does. Look at that. Just outside the inn. And so they took the boards off the door with the crowbars that they had, and ran out, and they opened the. There's two doors there. One's the armory. Well, there's more than two doors, but they only opened the two doors. One that held the lumber, and one that held the armory. And they wanted to outfit this one guy who is there. But he oh, I see. This isn't an official path up here. This poor guy here totally broke in to get up here. But so they armored up the one guy who didn't have weapons and armor, and as soon as they did that, the two doors, they're 5 doors. So 2 of the doors they hadn't opened tear open, and 2 more red slod, which are the smallest slods, come out. And so then they fought those, and then once they killed those, they ran back into the inn with the supplies they had and sealed the door off again. So they stayed there until about 4 in the afternoon, and then they're like, well, we need to quit for the night. And I'm like, yeah, I figured we'd quit about now. And so they were like, so I'm like, so you gonna take one last look around before you quit for the night? Because in the first game in this place, they chased a gray one. A baby gray one, which is way more powerful than anything they've faced so far. But they chased this baby gray one into the well, and I've been waiting to have it bust out. And so when they went out into the courtyard just to take a look around, I'm like, there's nothing but silence, and the creatures have torn down parts of the stables and built a weird wooden structure at the end where they're housing the bodies that are currently being the host to new slod babies, chestburster style. They don't have face huggers, but they basically operate the same way. The slod implant the bodies with eggs. The eggs hatch. They burst out. Only the bottom floor had a couple of safes on it. Most of these rooms are not worth even. I feel like I don't ever want to loot one of these buildings again because there's nothing here that I want. Especially not at my scavenging level, because everything was just empty, basically. But yeah, so they chased the gray one down into there's probably, there's a ladder right there. We'll go in through here, see what we can find. And so when they came out, they have spells, and so it used the fly spell and smashed its way up out of the well they had covered over, and then because I want the place to burn down, and they've only almost started a fire a couple of times. I had it throw a fireball at the one building, and so now I'm gonna have the fire spread, and the whole complex is slowly gonna burn to the ground, and then the gray one landed. It's got to go grab a weapon yet because it doesn't have a weapon. But yeah, and then they also at the very end heard howls in the distance because they were supposed to be hunting for dogmen, and so I'm gonna have gnolls, they're called. I'm not gonna have any gnolls show up though. They're gonna think they're gnolls, but they're gonna quickly transform into slod. And then once they get engaged in the fight and start getting in trouble, because they're going to be in trouble as soon as the fight starts. This is kind of the end here, I think. I figure maybe we could get that done. Except who knows if we have time now, because it's almost 4 in the afternoon and we still haven't started on what's supposed to be our 3rd day of D&D, and we've only played for 2 hours so far in 3 days. Seriously, don't make plans with me if you're not going to follow through with them. I don't get it. There aren't days where I don't have things to do, so I don't understand not having things to do. So when you make plans with me, I have to rearrange the things I had intended to do and do them at a different time, and so now you've put me out. Not that I don't want to play, I do want to play, and I have no problem rearranging to play. But if I rearrange to play and then you don't play, then you've lied to me and wasted my time. And, you know, I really need to take this nitrate with me, and I didn't grab it the last time I saw it. But I'm sure we will play. It just won't be as long a session as they as they told me it was going to be, and so the 5+ hours of my free time I spent prepping for this weekend of D&D is now haven't even made it through the stuff that I had already prepped. So, yeah. Alright, with that, click like if you like, subscribe, sure, and catch the next one, and I will talk to you later.